This is Due to Bet Sports. Due to Bet Sports, it's your favorite show. Due to Bet Sports, where degenerates go. Due to Bet Sports, time to change your approach with Aaron Halterman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit.
Welcome back to Slim Pickins. We're going to recap week one of the big NFL season. But before we get into it, we got some week one business that is unfinished, and that is Monday Night Football. So I am giving out my pick below for Monday Night Football. It is a two-part parlay tonight. I'm excited to see Russell Wilson in his first game for the Denver Broncos, and he goes back to Seattle, where he has had so much success in the past. So going over 253.5 passing yards for Russell Wilson, I don't think it's going to be an issue for him. And his number one target is Courtland Sutton. That's who he's meshed with the most in camp. So over 59.5 yards receiving, two-part parlay, plus 185 on FanDuel. We'll see. Hopefully they don't blow him out too early in the game, but if they do, Russell Wilson, I think, is going to keep on getting back out there in a revenge game. So the bet is Russell Wilson over 235.5 passing yards and Courtland Sutton over 59.5 receiving yards, a two-part parlay. So now we're going to recap week one in the NFL, but not just recap it, but also look at what we can think about going into week two and what player props may be the ones we're looking at from some early feedback. You don't want to overreact to week one results, but you want to start taking those pieces of data into what we're going to do for week number two. And the first thing is put a line through the 49ers and Bears games for the receivers. Obviously, really rained hard in the second half. The field was wet. Wet is always more difficult for, wet wind, very difficult for receivers. Cole Kmet, 0 catches on the day. Those things, I think, are not going to be what you're going to see in the future for these teams. So don't worry too much about those stats going in. Draw a line through it. When you look at your past performances in horse racing, you draw a line through a race that was just an aberration. I think that's the deal here. So we're going to count down the top 10 things from week one that are going to help us for week two. Number 9 on the list, Jacksonville was horrible against the pass. They gave up over 300 yards to Carson Wentz. Who they get next? Indianapolis Colts, Michael Pittman. And Michael Pittman looked awesome in week one. He's going to be somebody. We'll see where that line comes out after his performance for the Colts. Matt Ryan, we're not really sure if he's washed. He didn't look that great in that game. The Colts tied. We had a tie in week one, so we'll see if the Colts come out slinging against a bad Jacksonville pass defense. So that is something that we want to try to identify defenses that we can take advantage early of the season. So we're going to be looking at Jacksonville and who's playing them each week for a little bit, and we'll see if they get their act together. Another person that has to get his act together is Mike Williams. I bet Mike Williams anytime touchdown. I'm sorry if y'all followed along. He did not get the targets. He only got 4 targets on the game. But, Justin Herbert was spreading it around. Keenan Allen did hurt his hamstring in this game. And they play on Thursday night. So really, I don't know if they're going to push an older player, 30 years old, Keenan Allen, to get out there on Thursday night. I'm going right back to the well again with Mike Williams maybe on Thursday night, but Kansas City, obviously 5 touchdown passes from Patrick Mahomes. There's going to be a lot of options there. I may also be looking at Marquise Vandell-Scantlin as somebody who was on the field a lot, did not get a touchdown from Mahomes. He said each week it's going to be someone else, so maybe he's the guy to look at on Thursday night. Staying with the wide receivers and how injuries are going to affect us going into week two. Tyler Boyd, it might be his time to shine. When T. Higgins has been out, Tyler Boyd has been really ridiculous. T. Higgins got a concussion. Will he be ready for week two? Tyler Boyd may be a quick play. We'll see where the prop lines come out on him, but he has been awesome when T. Higgins has been out. Moving on to another injury. A lot of injuries in the top 10 this week. Eli Mitchell was hurt. We'll see how bad it is. They said a knee. I won't be using Jeff Wilson. It seems like it's going to be a timeshare probably with the San Francisco backfield. So will there be more Trey Lance running? I talked a little bit about the 49ers and Bears game. Trey Lance had 54 yards rushing in that game. He's going to be using his legs for the 49ers to get ahead. No Eli Mitchell. He may be doing even more running. So, that was the part of that parlay that I went over. It was a really bad beat in week 1 with Justin Fields. He was 3 yards short at one point of getting over his number. So very difficult. I tried to go with the quarterback parlay, rushing yards over, and it didn't work out for me. But you know what? I stayed within my budget. I had some good thoughts. I had some bad beats. That's what handicapping is. My first week at Saratoga, I did horrible, but I lost by a bunch of noses. And then you know what? Those noses started going my direction later in the meet, and I came out ahead for the meet in Saratoga. So same thing here. Just keep on moving along to the next week. Do not get discouraged from your strategy and what you're going to do this year. And the guys, that might have emerged, you could start using this year. Michael Thomas, he's back, 2 touchdowns, look great. And, Jameis, he says he's hurting all over. He got pain all over, but he's stuck in there. Michael Thomas, big comeback for New Orleans. And, we'll see if we could use him. We'll see what his line is going to come back. But he's back. You know who else is back? Julio Jones is back. He looked great on Sunday Night Football. I played anytime touchdown with him. They only had 1 touchdown. If Julio and Brady hook up in the end zone, I get it done. But, they got stopped for a lot of field goals. Tampa Bay, it wasn't as high scoring as we expected. But Julio Jones is back, someone that you could start using in prop bets. We'll see what his anytime touchdowns come down to. Chris Godwin also got re-injured. I don't even know why he was out there. Got injured, so we'll see if his timeline to come back. But Julio Jones really going to be a focal point right behind Mike Evans in the offense for Tampa Bay. And most importantly, Saquon is back. A huge game for Saquon Barkley, 164 yards rushing. When he looks like that and he's making those big runs and he's putting that shoulder down and he's making those moves, jumping in and out, I love to see it. I'm a Giants fan. I'm a Jets fan, but boy, Saquon is the most exciting player in New York. To see him back and the Giants to win that game in a miracle comeback and to have a missed field goal at the end like that, a great win for the Giants. So congratulations to them. And we're going to be looking at what Saquon's line comes out, because if he's back like that, boy, he might be going over coming into the next week here. Dallas is done. Are they done? Well, Dak Prescott, he's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks now, is the newest thing with the thumb injury, and boy, that offense looked horrible with Dak. So will he be any better after this? And I really can't even look at using anybody on Dallas anytime soon. And the last but not least, the big wide receiver chalk is real. Jeez, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp on Thursday night. A.J. Brown was ridiculous. Devontae Adams was ridiculous. These chalk wide receivers, we may be looking at those lines and seeing if they could go over 110, 120 yards. Who knows what they're going to be setting these lines, but these wide receivers may just be unstoppable. So we're going to have to take a long, hard look at their prop bets every week to see if there's somebody that we're going to want to go with. And Monday Night Football, we're going to have Philadelphia against Minnesota, and we have A.J. Brown versus Justin Jefferson. It's going to be an exciting one for Monday Night Football. So I'll get back to you on Thursday Night Football with Mike Somich on the Thursday Night Football halftime show, the Bet-A-Palooza that we're going to be having. So check us on Thursday night. I'll probably have a props article on the Racing Dudes website in the next couple of days with my Thursday night picks. So for me, Saratoga Slim, good luck with your bets tonight on Monday, and we'll be talking to you about Thursday night bets coming soon. So peace.